Welcome to my garage. I lost a load of footage because my phone got stolen, which had everything on it. So basically from starting to mix up the first batch of concrete to now, I've only got a few little snippets, but I'll include what I've got. But I just thought I'd give you a tour and there'll be a nice place to start. So let me show you around. So I guess the most important part of a structure is the door, or is it the walls? Let's say it's the door for now. That makes more sense, easier place to start. This is the door that came with the garage. It is slightly too narrow because I think it had a frame before. So I've just added these bits of wood on the bottom. You can see here it's all like rotten and stuff. It's just something for now. The whole theme of the garage is I don't have a lot of money, but I still want a nice garage and I'm still going to do my best to make it as nice as possible, but without spending loads of money and not wasting money, but spending more money than I have at the moment. So yeah, door's going to stay like that for now. It will get replaced eventually, but yeah, starting point. Next, we've got the walls. These are actually fiber cement panels. They're coming like 3.6 meter lengths. They're 190 millimeter widths, and they just go on like you would any normal cladding, but they are fireproof and they should last, I think, 20 years, something like that. So hopefully they're going to last a nice long time. And they obviously look a lot nicer than the concrete panels that were there before. Super happy with those. These windows, I picked them up for £10 each. They are not perfect, they're not exact fits, but they're good enough for the time being. Instead of spending £100 on a window, I just thought I'd get these for £10, put it in, good to go, at least for the summer. And you know, when winter comes, I can sort something else out. I put the guttering, again, just loads of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. It's brilliant, love it. The roof is pressed tin aluminium steel sheets. They're pressed in a way to look like tiles, and they're covered in bitumen, I don't know how to say it. So it's supposed to last like 50 years, I think, which obviously, is it going to last that long? Probably not, but I'm hoping it's going to. I poured the foundation. The actual concrete panel sits probably about here, and then there's wood, and then there's fiber boards. So it doesn't sit right on the edge. I'm not the best at concreting. It doesn't look perfect, but we're gonna get loads of plants, just sort of make this area look way nicer. Don't tell anyone, but look how bad my concrete pouring is. That is not straight at all. But it's fine, we'll hide it with some plants. Basically, I poured the concrete, spoke to my neighbor, and realized that I'd built the whole garage too close to our boundary fence. I'd only left about that much space.
So then after having put up the concrete walls and connecting all the pillars and the walls and the panels together, I then realized I needed to take it all down and move it about 30 centimeters away from the wall. That was 2 weekends work instead of 1 weekend, but got it done in the end thanks to the help of some friends.
Right, so that's all the outside. That's the boring stuff, kinda. Depends. If you like the outside stuff, now is gonna get really boring. If you like the inside stuff, now is gonna get a bit more interesting. Let's go in, see what it's like inside. So, here we are, inside the garage. It feels way bigger once you're inside it. I've got my slightly longer extended workbench. Here is my wood workbench, carpeted section for if I'm doing something with like glass or plastic pieces that I don't want to get scratched. Top tip I saw from Colin Furs on his channel. He's got carpeted workbench, which I thought was a great idea. Got the wooded section if I need to do any drilling. You know, it doesn't really matter if I drill into this. I can just replace this. You see all the stains and everything, but it's a workbench. That's what it's for. This is usually a bit cleaner, but this is for putting on car parts. So taking off like injectors, spark plugs, anything like that. They will go on here because it's clean, and if it's oily or anything, if it drips, that's not the end of the world. It does not matter at all. Got a little vise, and then I've got my like soldering, welding workbench, which I realized isn't the best idea having a carpet and a compressor right underneath. So this is gonna get some fine tuning. Got my trusty miter saw, which is nice and blunt, so that's useful. I've got my toolbox, tool chest, just nice to have everything organized. Again, Facebook Marketplace, this was like £80. My sockets, what is that? Angle grinder stuff, choppy bits, random stuff, tooly random stuff. I've got all my spray bottles and everything like that up there. Power tools, I'm trying to get away from corded power tools. I started collecting my Milwaukee bits and they are fantastic. I'm not poo-pooing anyone who's got any other bits, like DeWalt, Ryobi, anything, do whatever makes you happy. You know, get the things that you want. My brother had these, I tried them, they're really good. Got this and the drill used, and I think they were like £80 together with a battery. And then I've got this big 3/4 inch impact wrench, which is an absolute monster. And then just a couple of bits I picked up, which were, they're not Milwaukee brand, they just work with Milwaukee batteries. But this is a brilliant tool, angle grinder with the battery. It's so useful and it's like really powerful, works really well. It's just brilliant. I love it. It's my new favorite tool, and I used to hate the angle grinder. It always used to really scare me. Spray gun, just for spraying like fence panels and you know, these panels and everything like that. So yeah, really good. So I'm not sure where these are going to go up yet. Might just make like a little binder or a book or something. I forget the names of car parts all the time, and so do most people. In the YouTube videos, if someone remembers all the car parts, they will have had to look it up at some point. So I've printed myself up loads of different diagrams, all the car parts. So when I'm saying something on a video, I'm not saying something completely stupid and wrong. So I can just have this and I can just reference back to it. And it just makes it so much easier. These aren't my pictures, by the way. I've just printed them off just for my personal use, just to remember what things are called. Cool, and then I've just got all my storage down here, got my compressor, loads of storage up here. This is the next video, don't look at that. Spoilers alerts, what could it be? Or this is gonna be kind of like a video area. That's gonna kind of be the vibe. It's gonna be like we're out camping, but we're also doing car stuff. We've got a whiteboard behind for all the notes and boarding. And then the main part of the garage. So here it is. This is all my workspace. My MR2 comes to about here. I don't know, I've got that much space. Workbench behind me. So this door I picked up for free from Facebook Marketplace. Again, just absolutely love Facebook Marketplace. It is the wild west of buying stuff. You can just pick up some brilliant bargains or stuff for completely free. So may have driven for about an hour with it on my roof. Was it quite scary? Yes, quite. Was it worth it? Now? Yeah, of course it was. It goes up, it goes down, it locks, it's brilliant. It came with keys. It was like a pretty new door. So yeah, super happy with that. And then over here, I've built a kind of like jack stand ramp. This isn't gonna stay here, but cement and sand area. And then for the walls, I was trying to think of what was like a cheap version of insulation. Could have spent hundreds on insulation, but I ended up spending about £50 on this reflective roll stuff, which don't know how much good it's doing, but it's not too hot in here and I haven't got any doors or any windows open. It's an all black structure as well, so it absorbs the heat. So all in all, I think, you know, I think it's a pretty, I think it's doing its job. I think it's all right. I've got my lights. They are quite janky, to say the least. Do they work? Yeah, plug them in, absolutely. Am I scared of getting electrocuted every time I turn them on? Yes. Are they getting upgraded? Yes. Just got these supporting beams that go across, which I can hang things from if I need to. Just built a little corner shelf unit thing, just from literally scrap wood that I had lying around. This garage is more function than beauty. Let's go with that. There's gonna be loads of air leaks in here, but it is what it is. It's functional, it's not beautiful. And then I've put these sheets down because it's much nicer than walking on concrete. But this is where I poured the new concrete slab. You can see this line here. This is where the old slab was. That's how much I've had to extend it. I'm not very good at pouring concrete, / I'm quite impatient and I get a bit lazy. And then I just recovered the old existing concrete because more than anything, it just didn't look very nice. And then the final touch is my hand. Which one's that one? My hand, Natalia's hand, and Chips's hand. And do you know what? I just look at it and I just think how far I've come. I just think I could be comparing myself to like all these people who are millionaires and billionaires and they're out on their yachts all the time and everything. But actually, I've built myself a garage. I've bought my first home, albeit, you know, with a mortgage. But you know, I'm really happy. I think I'm doing really well, and it's a lot of hard work. But every time I see this, it reminds me of all that hard work, and I pat myself on the back and say, yeah, do you know what, Gabe, you've done it. So well done. Keep going. Keep doing your thing. Let's see what happens in another 5 years. So, how much did the garage cost me? That's the important question. That's what everyone wants to know. The walls were free. The concrete was about £400. The cement mixer was £70. The timber for the roof and the supporting brick beams was about £250. The roof tiles and the screws for it was about £300. The cladding, which I put on the exterior, was £250. The insulation, the roll, the silver foil, that was about £60. And then bits and bobs was about £30. So all in £1,360, which I think is phenomenal for the size of the garage that I have. I'm so chuffed with that. That's brilliant. I need to get a better chair, but that's it. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was educational or interesting. I'm not really sure what it would be. It's a garage, but we all love a garage, don't we? So hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.